What's going on, guys? It is Mason of Delphine here today, and I wanted to talk about some Super Mario Odyssey with some very special guests. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, I am Danny,
Evelyn,
from the NintendoCade channel. So we were invited by Mason of Delfino. It's an honor. A big fan of Nintendo, and so are we.
Yes.
Give us some insights on a cool topic.
Yeah, definitely. So if you guys don't know who these guys are, they make awesome reviews. They are Nintendo brand ambassador people who do a lot of fun Nintendo videos. Definitely go check them out. Link down below in the description. So Danny, Evelyn, how are you guys doing today?
We're doing good. Very pumped.
And we're excited.
Yeah. E3 is super soon. How are you guys feeling about that?
Oh, it's only a week away.
I know.
It's exciting, and it is like the Super Bowl of video games.
Yeah, he won't be able to sleep.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like do a countdown.
Yeah, a lot of things are revealed, and good news, a lot of good stuff.
It's just coming so soon, and I'm so excited to see what all Nintendo has in store for us. But basically, right now, obviously, we're going to be talking about Super Mario Odyssey because it is just mere days away before we see the trailer, before we see all the news drop about it, and I could not be more excited. And, I mean, just in general, this is like literally like the game of my dreams. I mean, is that like a relatable thing to say or no?
I certainly believe so. When I looked at the trailer, the first thing came to mind is Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
For Nintendo 64. And obviously, I was, 1996? Around 95, 96? Is when I went to my local Toys R Us and staring at it, gawking at it, different worlds that, Super Mario 64 provided. And from the trailer, you can see it's a cityscape, in a vegetable world. There's a little spaceship, more like a galaxy kind of thing.
When we saw the trailer beginning, we were like, what is this? Because we saw we thought it was Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I thought it was like a New Donk City or something. I don't know.
But then the city looks like, it looks like New York City, right?
Yeah, for us, for being in New York, I'm like, oh, that's a very catching trailer right off the bat because it's a very different environment that we're used to seeing Mario in, and that really got us excited.
And the next thing you see, Mario pops out, like
pops out of a manhole.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it reminds me, whenever I first saw the trailer, it looked like a Splatoon game to me.
Oh really?
Oh really?
It just had
couldn't be too.
I mean, just the music, it didn't have the music really per se, because it doesn't have that like techno vibe to it that the Splatoon music has. But just the looks, even like ARMS, it looks like something that almost is just like, it has that style to me for some reason, the glossiness look to it. And
I guess that's what is different about this game that make us a little bit attracted to it, because it's I think it's they're taking a different route in the Mario franchise, because we're already used to the formula how Mario games has been since 64, Mario 64.
I mean, maybe, right? Because I mean, it's just, all we seen is just the trailer, and we're just thinking like, we were actually discussing after we watched the trailer. We're like, wow, and this and that. What are you gonna make in the game? Like,
what can really add? Because Nintendo, if everyone knows, they always have the trailer out, but it's so much more than what you see. Like Breath of the Wild, for example, they only show a little small section, but look how big the game is now that everyone has a chance to play it.
Yeah. And it was just so great to be able to see like Mario jumping out. I didn't even realize it was that. Like you see the like the sewers kind of shaking before he jumps out.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? Like it didn't trigger my mind. Oh, this is a plumber, you know. And all of a sudden he popped out. I fell out of my chair almost. I was so excited, and just straight up, it was so hype, and I'm so glad it's coming this winter. I mean, so they say this holiday.
The holiday they're coming out, right? It's coming out.
It should be this holiday.
And then Danny he said the first thing, oh, I'm sure they're gonna like do something big in E3 about it.
Yeah.
So that's why we're like so excited about E3 with this game.
Obviously, more details are shown, and obviously the worlds, different environments. Maybe they bring back like levels closer to Mario 64. I mean, I have a lot of friends, and on YouTube they kind of like, oh, why can't Nintendo make a game like going back to the old style of that kind of I guess level design. But it's exciting in that part aspect.
I mean, I was super excited back in May. They dropped the news of what they were doing for E3 and everything like that, and you know, it was just like, oh my goodness, like there's a lot of, they're focusing on it basically. It's like kind of like what they were doing for Breath of the Wild, except not as extreme, of course. Because they have the Nintendo Spotlight is what they're calling that now.
I know, right?
You know, I'm really excited to watch that. It's going to be really fun. And just in general, it's going to be a great time to be there. And I mean, it's Mario. We can't not be excited.
I know, right? Everyone knows Mario.
Yeah, you can't go wrong, Mario. I think of Mario is like this. It's like a game that You just pick up and play. Whatever mood you're in, it kind of cheers you up. It's, I mean, it's a colorful world.
Yeah.
it's not like a dark, sinister world. Maybe the underground level, maybe, but in a general sense, it's all happy.
The
music was one thing that I noticed is a very different take compared to previous installments of an Mario game. I guess Koji Kondo kind of take a seat back and let the newer developers. But I noticed Nintendo's been kind of letting the younger developers take over the reins to create new content. Like Splatoon was one of them, and ARMS, that's another thing. So it looks like Nintendo overall is taking new bold steps to kind of appease to a new generation of audience, I would say, because I grew up in such a Stone Age. So
no, you're good. But like the thing about this game that I love so much is that they've even claimed themselves that it follows through with the same vibe that Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine have, where it's kind of like an open box, sandbox style game, you know, open world, I mean. So it's really cool to see them kind of going back to their roots and not going in the lines of, you know, Galaxy or 3D Land or 3D World. You know, it was like, I felt like those games, Galaxies I loved, you know, those games were great to me. But 3D Land was good because it was its own thing, but 3D World literally just felt like a ripoff of that to me.
It is an extension of 3D Land, that's for sure.
Right, and it felt like a 2D game that was trying to be 3D, almost. To me at least. I mean, of course it was three-dimensional, just like they say it was, but it didn't give me that same feeling that other Mario games have, like the older ones, you know. So hopefully the adventure aspect in Odyssey, the exploration, and all that stuff will bring me just right back to that feeling. But in terms of like everything about the game that we've seen so far, you know, we've seen the trailer, that's literally it. But then there was one thing in there that kind of caught the people's attention, which was the hat that Mario was wearing. It kind of has like, it looks like a sidekick thing almost.
It's like a Navi in Ocarina of Time, but obviously it's used in a different way. I mean, I can only speculate that there are a lot of acrobatic moves that Mario can do. I know that he can use it as a platform and jump on the next platform. So really interesting. I see potential that Nintendo can expand on that idea. I'm sure they haven't shown anything at all. There's only like maybe one or two points in the trailer with that.
But not much. It's just like a teaser, and then here you go, guys. We'll surprise you guys later on.
And like, maybe you can copy. I was thinking of copies of the cat when you make steps on it.
Oh,
that's true. Yeah, no, I think, do you notice in the trailers, they kept talking about, they didn't talk about it, but it was in the trailer, like these crazy cap stores. Yeah, I feel like that would almost be like the new power-up system. Like, there wasn't a single mushroom or anything like that in the trailer. And I mean, maybe they do. Maybe you do see a little Mario running around now and then. But I feel like the hat is where all the power lies within now. Something about, you know, unless Bowser takes Peach and Peach contains the power for this new hat power thing, whatever. I mean, it could be anything. We don't know the story yet, but I'm sure we'll find out in due time.
And then now with the Nintendo Switch, like with the Joy-Con, so who knows how they work with the players, how many players and stuff like that, with characters.
We only pretty much saw Mario,
pretty much, right?
And who knows, it might have a whole cast of Mario characters. That could be an option, but
I think
we don't know.
I think seeing other characters playable like Luigi and like Peach, even if you know, maybe sometimes you have to take over as Peach to like break through Bowser's barriers or something that he has set up. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but basically, I think it would be really cool just to kind of, you know, every Nintendo character you could possibly think of, have some kind of interaction with them. Not everyone, of course, but a lot of Mario characters. You know, play as Wario, play as Waluigi, and whatever. I mean, I don't know how well that would go down, considering, you know, it seems to be a giant mainline story game almost, instead of like a party kind of game where you can just pick and choose your characters and do this and be done. So unless there were kind of tag team things to where, you know, similar to how in Mario Galaxy where you could tag team as Luigi and play as him for a minute or something. Somehow tie them into the storyline too, Wario, Waluigi, Yoshi, something. I think each of them having their own powers, kind of how 3D World did even.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Would be really cool to see, but not to the extent that 3D World had. No multiplayer, because I feel like this is like, I feel like it's going to be a story-based game. You know,
It could
looks
be.
like it because the way how they show the city.
They showed it. You know, I feel like the trailer made it to be like Super Mario 64 with Galaxy. You put it together,
right.
and that's what you get, like a mixture of those two.
I think the colors of the different level. Remember you mentioned like when they change to the wow, it's beautiful. The level it looks like
it's a vegetable world. That's just stuck on my mind. It's always a vegetable world.
It's so pretty. Just this whole world looking so good. I'm so excited to see what all like this game has to offer. Just in terms of exploration and story and everything, it just looks like it's going to be wrapped up to be one amazing title.
It is definitely. I mean. It's a main franchise for Nintendo, so I'm sure they will. I mean, especially with the Nintendo Switch. I mean, besides Breath of the Wild, a lot of the games or releases. It's somewhere like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a re-release of a previous game, but to them that is like I think it's the system seller for the holiday season.
I think everyone's gonna ask that as a gift for the holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's definitely. Yeah.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, just in general, it looks like it's going to be a really great game. I'm so excited to try it out. I mean, is there anything else we should touch on before we close it out here? Did we miss anything?
I mean, other besides the characters is what kind of enemies we're going to see make a return, or maybe new enemies.
Ones, probably.
Because I was going to say in the trailer, all we saw was in that first world, I think, in the desert area, those little, like, what was it? Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. That's what it was like based off of, I think, according to like Game Explained or something. You know, it's just a lot of skeleton guys running around, which they were adorable. Don't get us wrong, you know. But you never saw a single Goomba or anything in there. I don't think.
No, we didn't see it.
There were bullet bills. Nothing else.
I mean, we obviously saw Bowser.
Right.
The main villain of the Mario franchise, but
and the rabbits seem to have a kind of a role too. So, I don't know.
Possibly endless. You know, that's what is part of E3. You know, it's coming up.
We're gonna find out.
Really exciting. So everyone, guys, check out Mason. I'm sure he will cover it.
Right.
Oh, I'm sure, because you know we're gonna be out here at E3. So. Yeah, I mean, thank you guys so much for joining. And if you guys are hyped for Mario Odyssey that are watching this, please let us know what you're excited for, what you think we'll see, and all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye, guys.